Okay. We may be already showing, guys, or some of you may be seeing a commercial. That's all right, I'm still seeing a commercial, but we don't know. We're going to wait just a minute. Guys, if you go ahead.
I was going to say, we'll wait till our commercial's over, and then we'll get this thing kicked off. So we may be starting at like 8:31, but just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, so if you don't have a commercial, hi. We're glad to be with you guys again, Team Time. It's casual, but it's effective.
Yeah, it's Casual Sunday. Hope you guys are having a great day out there.
So, too. All right. I say we get started.
Okay.
I say we get started.
Okay, here we go. Well, listen, first off, we want to welcome you guys. This is Andy and Karen Edwards here, and this is the Edwards Team Time Ustream that we do on Sunday nights. And just to give you guys a little glimpse of what we're going to have tonight, it's going to be just, our format tonight's going to be just like all of our other ones. So we're going to have 30 minutes of training, and then we're going to have 30 minutes of Q&A where we'll give you a phone number and you guys can call in any questions that you have. They can be related to what we talk about here tonight, or they can be really any question. We'll answer just about anything these days. So, yeah, the number is 281-844-4591, and that's 281-844-4591. And I want to encourage you guys to get a pen and journal, because take some notes. Karen's covering some great stuff tonight. And then obviously, any questions that you have, jot them down, and we'll be available when this is over. But these Sunday night Ustreams, this is really, it's our time with you guys. It's a chance for us to see our whole team across the country, and for you guys to get a chance to see us, and just learn, learn and earn. So
learn and earn. Okay, good. Well, I'm going to kick it off tonight. I was chatting with Andy. We were trying to figure out a topic that would be the most relevant for tonight for you. And so the question I want you to write down in your journal is, you ready? Is it time for a new level for me? Or if you're a married couple, is it time for a new level for us? Okay, because that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about you immediately, this pay period, stretching for a new level. For those of you that really believe it's time, I want you to cross out the question and just put, it is time for a new level for us. It is time for a new level for me. And I want to clarify that up front. It doesn't matter to us where you are now or what level you want to be at. My job tonight is to just encourage you and to train you on some concepts where we believe if now is your time, you're set up perfectly. Okay, we want to teach you and train you on that. So if you are brand new, you could literally say it's our time right now to get to silver. This would be your time, and we want you to be able to set that as a goal, get with your leader, find out the details of what it takes to get to silver, but you can do it. You can get your silver pin right now, and I'm going to show you how or why. Gold, 3-star gold, ruby. We want you thinking about the stretch right now. And I do want you to understand that if you are brand new, what I'm going to talk about tonight is not going to be realistic to say I want to be ruby right now in the next 2 pay periods, but you get to that first goal on the way to ruby. Because, I just want to continue to encourage you that if you stretch for a new goal right now, and your eyes are on ruby, if you're not ruby yet, that's huge for your family. Okay, and think about that. We don't know what your budget is. We don't know exactly what's coming in every month and what's going out every month for your family. But if we can teach you the fundamental steps and get you to think in terms of stretching yourself to the ruby level, that's going to be huge if you set your mind on it. And here's why. Aside from all of the other things that we have talked about over and over with you, about the vision for your life and the purpose long term, and really dreaming about everything that can happen for you, we want to get down to the realism of ruby. $6,500 to $7,000 a month into your household, alongside the budget that you're already living with, alongside the reality of what life looks like in your home right now, is huge. And so if you can stretch right now, no matter whether that's a stretch to silver or to gold or to 3-star gold or to ruby. If you can do that right now, it's all ultimately going to end up at that ruby level of $6,500 to $7,000 a month into your household budget. Beyond that, you know what's possible. You've seen it happening with everybody else on the team, and we want you to have that too. Now, if you're sitting here, and I love the fact that we have rubies and 6-star rubies and emeralds, 9-star emeralds, and diamonds that are watching Team Time, that are taking advantage of this time also. You know that your heart's desire is not only to stretch, but really it's to find those on your team that want to stretch right now. Yours will be an automatic. When you get to this level of 3-star gold ruby, your whole mindset is, who can I help get to the same place? So just take what we're doing and think about who on your team you can talk to, okay? But we want to get right into the topic tonight, and first and foremost, I want to walk you through the calendar, because some of you are very, very new at this, and we know you've said yes to AdvoCare. We know that you're excited about getting to the advisor level, that you may have now gotten some people on products, you may have some new advisors on your team, but sometimes the reality is, I know for Andy and I, we weren't paying attention to the calendar at that point. You know, we weren't looking pay period to pay period very intentionally at the beginning of our business, even though we had hopes and dreams. You might be at that place right now. Okay, so what we want to talk about is being intentional. We want you to understand the calendar, and we want to feed you some things right now that are important for those of you that really want to take your business to the next level right now. Okay?
Well, I was just going to add, being intentional, could mean for some of you, letting your leader know what you want to do. Let them know what pin it is that you want to stretch for, and they can do a reality check with you guys. I mean, it may be something totally that's the next step and very obvious for you. The second thing is, really, no matter where you are, understand that we all started at the same place. Right. So if you're silver, we were silver, and you can look at that chart, and we've been through every pin, and so we didn't skip any. It's step by step by step. So really, no matter where you are in the process, the next step is what would be a common sense thing. And so get with your leader, let them know if that's where you are, what you're looking for, what you want to do, and what your goal is, and then let them help you get there. Okay,
that's perfect. Okay, so let's talk about the calendar right now. It's Sunday night. The pay period closed last Tuesday night. Okay, so the new pay period started last Wednesday. Okay, but we have a really great time right now in your business to be able to get more out of your business in the pay periods that we're about to face. Okay, so I want to walk you through that. This pay period started on July 17th, and it doesn't end until August 6th. Okay, our pay periods, I know you know this already, but our pay periods close on the 1st and the 3rd Tuesday of every month. Now, if you're brand new, I recommend that you go right into your calendar and you mark the 1st and the 3rd Tuesday of every month from now until the end of the year. Okay? And when Andy was talking about the word intentional, that's an intentional step in your business, is knowing when the pay periods close so that you're able to move your business with intention, one pay period at a time, especially because we're helping close our pay periods by helping other people get to the advisor level. So marking your calendar allows you, as you're walking through life and taking AdvoCare with you through life, allows you to be mindful of that close of the pay period so that you're working during that close of the pay period on the important things, rather than maybe just accepting a friendship fun night out to the movies. You might be able to look at that calendar and say, you know what, it's the close of the pay period, I'm going to be working my AdvoCare business on Tuesday night. Okay, so we have to know when those are. Just a tiny little hint, and this is just from one person who's not super great at technology, but I've learned to look at these iPhone calendars, etc., and a lot of people will try to hit close of the pay period, and they'll put the 1st and the 3rd Tuesday of every month, but it doesn't repeat that way, because sometimes we have pay cycles that fall longer. Okay, so you'll mess it up if you try to do it repeating. You have to just literally go into your paper calendar or your iPhone calendar or Verizon or whatever, and you have to put it in there, 1st and 3rd Tuesday of every month. Now, perfect segue into what's happening right now. We're in an unusually long pay period. Okay, so I want you to understand that right now, August 6th is very far away. Okay, even though we've been in a pay period already from Wednesday all the way to tonight, Sunday night, we are not halfway through the pay period. We are in what's called a 3-week pay period. Okay, so we have a 3-week pay period right now, which is a longer pay period. And then we have a 2-week pay period, which is an average length pay period, but it's the pay period where Success School is. Okay, and we're going to talk about why that matters right now for you if you're trying to stretch to the new level. Okay, so let me talk first about the 3-weeker. Okay, you have more time. But here's the thing. There's 2 different mindsets when you're working your Advocare business and you have a 3-weeker. Okay, 3-weeker is what we call that extra long pay period. The first mindset is, I have a little bit more time to accomplish the same thing I always accomplish. So people will slow down. They won't even start thinking Advocare until they get about a week into the pay period. Okay, so that's the first mindset. That is not the mindset of somebody trying to get to their goal. That is a mindset of someone trying to maintain. Okay, so I'm talking to those of you that want to stretch to a new goal here. Here's the second mindset. I have more time this pay period, so I can achieve more because I have more time. There's more time, so I can do more. I can earn more, I can get more, I can achieve more, and I can stretch more. Okay, and that's the mindset of who I want to talk to tonight. Those of you who want to say, I am going to take advantage of the fact that I have a 3-week pay period. Okay, mindset number 1. Number 2 is we have a 2-weeker coming up, but it's our Success School 2-weeker. Okay, now for those people who are working their business intentionally, Success School is typically one of the highest pay periods of any pay period in the year for many reasons. 1, because they have product specials, they announce things, there's free shipping on orders 500 or more. So all of the in the game distributors, all of the distributors that are paying attention are going to take advantage of all that. So your volume's going to be up. But I want you to think in terms of not only that promotional volume from those specials and the free shipping or whatever Advocare gives us, but I want you to think in terms of who am I bringing to Success School who's sitting in the midst of this gigantic historical school and they're building their business with new vision, because that's when you're going to not only take advantage of the promotional special of Success School, but also the people who see it. So it's time to not stop getting more people to Success School. Now, we talk about that all the time. You hear it on every call, you hear it at every BizOp, every training, every meeting, you're hearing about Success School. But I want you, those of you who finish this Ustream and say, I'm stretching right now, I'm ready for the stretch, I want you to think it is not time to look at your list of who's going to school and say, we're done. Right now, I want you to think about who else is out there that I have not gotten to say yes to Success School yet. That might be a distributor who you've asked and they've said, I don't think so. You know, sometimes people have to be asked about 6 or 7 times about Success School before some of them say, you know what, I really do want to go. I really do need to go. So if you've had in your mind, well, they've already said no, you know, think about this. They don't really know yet what they're saying no to. And it's important for you to help them see that. I'm not talking about pushing people, but I'm talking about helping them see the vision. And then think about this. There's those people who don't even know about Advocare yet. They have no idea that Advocare exists, and you still have time to get them to school. And that's going to make your 2-week pay period look a whole lot different, because you've gotten somebody else to school who may not even be an advisor yet. But after school, that's what starts to happen. So I want you to think in terms of you're sitting in a 3-weeker followed by the Success School 2-weeker. Do you want to reach a new level? That's what we want to talk about. And I'm really encouraging and challenging you to put healthy pressure on yourself right now. Healthy pressure on yourself. You have to ask yourself the hard questions. Am I willing to do this? Do I want to do this? What we're trying to show you is if you put some healthy pressure on yourself, and if you put the work into this pay period and next pay period, you're set up to win because of the time frames. You're set up to be able to get more with the work that you attach to it because of the 3-weeker and because of the Success School 2-weeker. Okay, so that's my challenge to you. Now, I was thinking about it, and I was actually thinking about it for myself too, you know, with all that's going on in AdvoCare. And here's the thought that I had that I want to talk to you about. I want to put these words in your heart, in your head, because they came to me as I was thinking through even our own business. With everything that's happening, with the explosion of AdvoCare, with the momentum of AdvoCare, it's going to get big. And here's the 3 words that I want you to put in your journal, put quotation marks around them, and try to remember them as you're facing all this. Don't shrink back. Don't shrink back. Focused intention into your business right now rather than shrinking back. And here's the picture I had in my mind. And I don't know if you've ever seen this, but we were on an incentive trip in Sedona. Actually, I was on the incentive trip. I took my daughter Taylor, and Andy stayed home with Alex. We were in Sedona, and they had this really fun day of competition, games with all the AdvoCare distributors. You can picture that, you know, it's so many people that are very competitive, and it was a really great day. And there were all these different sports and games, challenges that we were doing as teams. And one of the games was, I haven't even told Andy about this yet, so he's just listening just like you are. But one of the games was a bungee race, basically. So it was a big blow-up game, right? And there were 2, you started way back here, and they tied you to this bungee kind of cord. And it was a blow-up race, and you were racing against the other person. But as you were running, there was pressure, you know, because the bungee cord was kind of pulling at you, and you had to put some real serious effort against that pressure and run, you know. And there were people in AdvoCare that you watched them, they were not giving up, you know, even though the bungee cord was pulling on them, they were going to win, and they were going to win that race against the other person. And the winner was always the one that just kept going. The one that didn't win was always the one that just kind of shrunk back. It was like, too much pressure, I'm done. And boom, they went backwards, you know. And you can kind of picture that if you've ever seen it. And my challenge to you is, you know, picture yourself in this bungee blow-up race, because we are facing a huge time in AdvoCare. There is tons and tons of company momentum. And to top it all off, you're in a 3-weeker followed by a 2-weeker. But it's totally up to you. Put some healthy pressure on yourself right now. We guarantee you that great things will come of it. We promise you great things will come of it if you will do that. So the plan tonight is I just want to talk about a few things that will help you, you know, get in front of more people. Now, you're all at different levels, and so many of you already understand the fundamentals of AdvoCare, and these are just a few things. Okay, I don't know if you're seeing it or not, but we'll just keep moving. We're seeing a mess on our Ustream. These are just a few things that we know you might not be thinking of right now. So take these, let them help you. If you know them already, share them with somebody else, okay? First and foremost, if you're brand new, continue to remember to use the third-party credibility of your leader, okay? We don't expect you to do everything yourself yet. Now, does that mean you can't do a mixer? No, you can do a mixer. If you've seen one, you can do one, okay? You can do presentations, and we want you to stretch on that. But just remember that as you're stepping into some of these things and doing some things on your own, you have third-party credibility. You could be right in the middle of something and feel like, you know what, I want you to meet my friend. She's got the answer to that, and get us on the phone, okay? But we do want you to think about the fact that more people in front of AdvoCare is going to increase your business. So let's start with fundamental things, okay? With this, the calendar the way it is, your first job is going to be to set goals, okay? Set goals. Tell yourself what you want. Tell your leader what you want, and put it down in writing, okay? That's your job right now. Where do you want to get to? What is the next for you? What is the stretch for you, okay? And Think about the normal fundamentals. This is not a basic training tonight. You've got to get yourself in the basic trainings with your leaders. You've got to sit down with your leader and say, what are the basic things I'm supposed to be doing? But remember that attending and conducting mixers and meetings and bringing guests to them is critical. Okay, so that's really important for you. So I want to talk about a couple things with that, just because, you know, there's a saying in Advocare, MMMMM. More meetings mean more money. More mixers mean more money. Biz ops in your town, if you're bringing people to them, you're going to get the message of Advocare in front of more people. What helps with that? What are some basic things that will help you get more people to the mixers, to the, you know, I've been talking to a couple of my distributors lately that said they've started the process of putting mixers on the calendar, but they're having some no-shows, okay? First of all, we all have no-shows. If you haven't had a no-show mixer yet, then just get ready for it, because you will, okay? We have them still, you know, sometimes today. Not as much, but we've all had no-show mixers, okay? But here are some basic things that are going to help you with that. First of all, getting someone to attend a meeting is always easier if they've already had product in their body, okay? So if you've sampled somebody's Spark already, it's more likely they'll come to a meeting. They've felt the product. Your customers are amazing people to get to mixers. We can't tell you how many people lately have joined our business because they were on product. They said they weren't interested in any more than that. We followed up, we made sure they were getting results, and then we invited them to come find out how people make money in Advocare. And they showed up. And then they said things like, wow, we had no idea that this was really what it was like, and we're ready. Okay, so product in body is huge. If you have influence with certain people on your top 10 list, they will most likely come to a mixer just because you have influence. But as you're walking through your daily Advocare business now, it's a lot more productive to get, it's easier to get people to meetings that have product in their body. The other thing is promote, don't invite. So just think about that. Promote, don't invite, okay? An invitation to a birthday party is an invitation. And people might go out of obligation, but they're going to go more if you tell them what the party's all about, right? That always makes a difference, especially for kids' parties, right? They want to show up because with Advocare, you want to promote the mixer, okay? You want to promote what's going to happen there. You want to promote the biz op. Not, it would be great for you to come. Here's the date, here's the place, here's the time, okay? That's where you get no-shows, okay? Now, I want you to think about how we promote, okay? Your job right now is to get people on products and to get people into your business. You can get people on products naturally by your testimony, by showing them a little bit about the 24-day challenge, what's happened for others, what can happen for them. But we really want to get people to these business opportunity meetings and these mixers so they can see how they could make money for their family. So the promotion can sound so many different ways. I mean, there are people who say, come to this Advocare information meeting. Okay, that's not going to get people to show up. Or, we want to show you all about our product line. That's not going to get people to show up. You've got to be saying to people, it's okay to say, find out what's happening for people on products, and it can happen for you too, but you better be attaching, and we want to show you what's happening for families across this nation or in this city that are earning money for their families, extra income for their families. We want to show you how Advocare might be a way for you to earn extra money for your family. Say the word money, in other words, and you're going to get more people to attend, right? I mean, Andy was working 12 to 14 hours a day. If somebody invited him to go find out about how products could work for him or a vitamin party, he's not going to show up. But money is going to speak to somebody who's a hard worker, right? Or money is going to speak to somebody who needs more of it. And remember, in order for you to get to the next level, it's not just about selling more product. You're looking for business team members. You're looking for other people that want to make money. So just wanted you to remember that as you're getting people to these meetings that you should be doing and bringing, going to, okay? The other thing just to remember with that is less is more. That's always the case in Advocare. Less is more. If you tell them all about Advocare and then invite them to come find out how people are making money, they're going to think they already heard it because you talked so much, and they'll base their decision on what you said. Less is more. You create interest, let the meeting do its job, okay? And that's really important. So number one, 3-weeker, 2-weeker, how many mixers are you going to? Are you attending? Are you bringing someone to? Are you doing yourself? The business opportunity meetings that are on the calendar in your city, are you attending? Are you bringing people, promoting? And remember, there is a ratio of results, okay? You never can ever forget that the law of averages, the ratio of results, it's a big part of our business. Don't get discouraged if you invite one person and they don't come, because if you only invited one, the expectation from a ratio of results is probably that you wouldn't have anybody there. Right at the beginning of your business, you might talk to 10 and have 1 or 2 people attend. Talk to 20, promote with 20, you'll have 2 to 4. So you have to think about more equals more, but think ratio of results. You have to over-promote. You have to over-promote to find the few, okay? And you will get better and better. Your word choices will matter. You'll have a higher ratio of results with word choices. You'll have a higher ratio of results if they've had product in their body already. You'll have a higher ratio of results if you've had some kind of third-party credibility. But also, you're going to have a higher amount of people attending if you've promoted with more people. Just flat out law of averages. Okay, so hopefully that helps you. Okay, number 2. Here's the thing, and I asked Andy to, even though I knew I was going to be doing the training tonight, I asked him to be here because we want to show you a little something that we think is really going to help you tonight when it comes to the fact that we want each one of you to believe that you can do a one-on-one appointment. Okay, one-on-one. Okay, we know 3-way phone calls and 2-on-1 appointments bring in your third-party credibility. But the bottom line is right now, during this 3-week or 2-weeker, even if you're new, we want you to know that you can get out there and talk about AdvoCare with somebody and begin the process. Yes, we want you to use your leader. Yes, we want you to pull in third-party credibility. But, we want you to increase the amount of people that are seeing AdvoCare right now during this time so you can find more advisors for your team. So you can get in there and get more people to be joining this thing called AdvoCare. So you've got to get out there and get in front of more people, okay? I wanted to use Mark Coffey and Piero Caprile as perfect examples of this. When we started teaching them AdvoCare, for the first 30 or 60 days, yes, they were asking me to come along. Andy was still working full-time, but I was coming alongside doing presentations with them for them, and they were watching. But these 2 guys were just picture perfect at taking what they learned and then stretching themselves, going out there and doing the appointment. And Piero especially was just relentless, and I say that in a very good way because he was not waiting for me or Mark to sit down and do appointments. Once he saw a few and learned how to do them, he did the appointment. And when I saw him come up on caller ID, I pretty much knew that he was sitting with somebody and he was pulling me in to introduce me. Again, that phone would ring, and that phone would ring, and that phone would ring, and it was because he was doing appointments, pulling in third-party credibility. Mark the same way. And in 3 years, they have built such solid organizations of other people that they bring in along with them, and they're at 9-star, Emerald, and Diamond, okay? We want you to know you can do the same thing. So we want to show you a little bit about conducting a one-on-one. Now, there's formats for this online. A great appointment has a certain business flow. I'm talking to you right now as brand new people, okay? So those of you that feel like you're still supposed to be using your leader, we agree with that. But at the same time, you can do these one-on-one appointments and create some interest and get a clear message across about AdvoCare and then bring in your leader. That way you don't have to wait for them, okay? And that's what the goal is during this 3-week or 2-weeker, is get some things going. Step out of your comfort zone. But we don't want you doing it and feeling like you don't know what to do. So here's what we want to talk about tonight is this new presentation book. I don't know if you've seen this online, but these are $2 a piece. And they're a great way for you to step out, get some appointments set with some of the people you know, and say, I really want to show you AdvoCare. Just ask for the appointment and begin the process. Don't forget that you need your Impact magazine along with you. Don't forget about your DVD. It's not just about this, but this is going to give you a really good flow, keep it simple, and help you as you present. So you can get these online. I want you to just jot down a couple things. I also don't want you to forget the Bulletproof Shield, okay? We're not going to teach you the Bulletproof Shield tonight, but go to advocaretraining.com and you can really get good at understanding why that Bulletproof Shield has to come along with you to answer objections. I know it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to go 10 more minutes at least. You can still put your questions and text your questions, but we're going to shorten the text time and we're going to keep going with this training, okay? So make sure you bring in your Bulletproof Shield along, but let's say you can get some appointments with some of your friends, get in front of some people that you know. If you brought this along, even if you're brand new, watch what you can do with this little book. Now, we're not going to walk through the whole thing, but here's what I want you to see. Andy's my prospect. He's my friend, okay? Yes, I could walk through AdvoCare with my Impact magazine, with my DVD, but this is new. This is a new tool. He's looking at this side, okay? And the point tonight is not to show you everything about how to do this, but to help you understand what this little presentation book looks like. He's looking at this side. You've got words that AdvoCare has put in print to coach you up on how to say to your friend, I'm going to show you some things about this company. So as he's looking at one side of it, you've got cues, okay? And all Andy's doing is listening, and you're talking a little bit. But here's the other thing I want you to think about. While you're doing this, this is a brief presentation. Use your ears. It's not as if you're going to just read. Check it out ahead of time. Look at what these pages are coaching you up on until this becomes just second nature. But what's great about it is it even tells you what you should be sharing. Okay, your brief story comes as you're walking through the pages of this book. Okay, now this says let's talk about you, this page right here, because you're going to show them that AdvoCare has products and a business, but this is where you're asking questions. Okay, this is where you're finding out what part of it they might be interested in. Now I want to coach you up. Let's say you get to this page, let's talk about you. Okay, and you're following along with the little coaching that says listen more than you talk, so that you can match the solutions.
Connect.
Right, and you're connecting with them. I'm going to give you a suggestion. Go to advocaretraining.com. Go to Training on Demand. That's a video section of advocaretraining.com. And find a video. It was done by Mike Farrow. It doesn't say Mike Farrow on the website, but that's who it is. The title of the video is 4 Questions to Ask. Okay? Now, you may use something else, but why not start there? Mike coaches you up on some questions you can ask right when you're here at this page. Let's talk about you, and then you can ask those questions, okay? And you keep moving. 4 ways to engage. You know, here's one thing that Andy and I know is never assume what someone wants. You're there to present AdvoCare. You're there to show them what's available. So just walk through the 4 ways to engage so they understand what's out there. Just lay out the options. And then as you're walking through the products work, you're always going to use your story. Here's where the Impact magazine or the DVD might become extremely relevant. If you're talking to a personal trainer, you might say, let me show you a clip about what's happened for people. So you don't want to be black and white and rigid, but this is a great way to give you some confidence using the Impact. And it even tells you here, use the Impact magazine, use the DVD, use a story that will match them, okay? So that's all this is. As we're flipping through the SciMed board, you know what to do with this. And I want you to get really confident in what's happening as we're flipping through all these pages. You've got wording on the other side to help you, okay? Now, just a little hint, like I'm talking to Andy about this, the endorsers. I'm not just saying, look who uses our products, look at, it's not just about showing the facts. This is when you're casting vision. Because Andy may have already told me on what interests you, that he's interested in products or money. Andy, let's just pretend.
Money.
Money, of course. Okay, so he's interested in money. So you're going to talk about how this not only shows the products are safe, but the branding. And you start casting vision about the branding of this company and what the company's done. And Andy, can you picture that, And you start moving it into his own life and his own vision, okay? As we keep going, you get to the business opportunity, it's the same thing. You're beginning to cast vision. Show them what's happening for other people. Rookie bonuses, same thing. Vision. Could this help your family? Is this something that could help you? You mentioned, you're talking about what he's already told you he's interested in. And you continue to do that. So it's a great book. And, when you get to this page, I want you not to think, I don't know how to explain all those levels. I want you to talk about the income and just say which part of that, where do your eyes fall? Where do your eyes fall, Andy? And begin to show them the multiplication and what's possible. You see, so it's just a matter of you have somebody on this side of the book and you're trying to bring these pages to life with how it would matter for them, for their own life. Now, when you get to this advisor level page, you might be unsure, or you might have and I'm just being really real with you guys, as you're new, you might have a very weak message when it comes to advisor. There's a lot of new distributors who shrink back at advisor. That bungee cord, you're just shrinking back. You're going, I can't do this. I got to just and you start mentioning 3 pay periods and, you can sell 24-day challenges. Be strong about advisor. Just as a matter of, these are the 2 ways to get there. But this is a good place to use third-party credibility. We had some great distributors on our team the other day who were helping somebody get to advisor, but they needed me to be able to help them share the benefits of why to get to advisor, straight up advisor level. And the best part about it was once we explained it on a 3-way, the person on the other line said, that makes sense. Nothing bad happens when your leader gets on the phone and explains advisor in a strong manner, because it's just showing them why it's in their best interest. So this is a good time to show advisor the best of your ability by this page and these 2 choices, but saying, I have a friend who can help explain it even better than me, or sending them to the advisor movie at that point, okay, that we have online. So I want you to know this is important. You're trying to move your business forward, but you're also trying to help other people make money, and they have to get to advisor for that, so you want to be able to show that with clarity. And the greatest part is this book ends with start today, and it goes right back to the 4 relationships. So I want to challenge you tonight. Get your hands on this. If you live locally, let us know. We've got some already. Buy them for your new team so we can start. We're starting to put these in our team members' hands. Not because we don't want to work, not because we don't, want to still do the appointments with you, because we want to give you confidence that that's simple and it gets you going. And then you're just going to continue the system of success. So hopefully that helped you. Here's a couple things to remember. When you're talking to people, listen more than you talk. Put your agenda aside. Even if you want them to join your business, if your heart says, what I really desire is to show them AdvoCare with clarity and a vision for their own life, what's in it for them, you're going to win here every time. Because whether they say yes or no at that moment, they're going to like what they heard. They're going to feel like you care. Okay? There's something called form. You're going to learn more about it at Success School. You can probably learn about it online. But basically what it means is that you're going to care about them, their family, their occupation, their recreation, what matters to them before you ever really talk about AdvoCare, the message. That's why it's all about you. That's why the beginning of it is let's talk about you. That's why that's right up front. So even AdvoCare, when they put this book together, is trying to help you as a new distributor remember that the appointment and the presentation is still about the person you're looking at and not about your own desires. Now, you still have those desires, you still have those goals, you still have those appetites, that you want. But as you're making your choice and as you're having that conversation with them, think about filtering it through what's in it for them. What do they need? What do they want? And the only way you can figure that out is to ask them enough questions, just like Mike Farrow can teach you on that video, so that you can show Advocare, okay? And then we just move from there, okay? So just lay your agenda aside, and you're going to do great. You're going to be able to do this. I promise you. And the more you do it right now, the better. Now, just quickly before we finish up, are you sending out packages? This is just a tip. You've got people all over this nation that you know. And sometimes you're stuck thinking about the same few people that you've already talked to about Advocare. You're re-inviting them to mixers over and over again. I want you to be proactive today, tonight, tomorrow, to get this thing really rolling before school. You can take your Impact Magazine. You can take a blue Sharpie or a black Sharpie or a red Sharpie, and you can mark up some of these pages, put a little sticker on it. This one says, firefighter just like you. And if they open that up, they're going to see Eddie Saldivar and his beautiful wife Dana and their story. You're going to be able to do that. You can mark it up. I've marked up Piero's story, a trainer, and I just circle a few things, okay? Now, what do you do with this? Why not think about some people you know across the nation right away so that you can stretch yourself and build your business faster? Get this in the mail. Get a Spark sample in the mail. Put a note on it and pick up the phone and call. Okay, now there's lots of trainings online about calling long distance. We can help you with that. Your leader can help you with that. But pick up the phone and call. Be purposeful. Let them know you're calling for a reason, that you want them to know about this company, Advocare. You thought of them because, and then let them know there's a package already in the mail. And when you get it, I want you to call me. But in the meantime, and just tell them your 30-second story. Tell them why you thought of them. Let them point them to workwithchampions.com or meettheteam.info, our online presentation. Point them to something that they can look at and call back, follow up. And you're going to be getting these seeds all over the nation. And again, I'm talking to those of you that want to stretch right now, that you want to see some things happen. You got to make them happen. You got to make them happen, but you've got the tools available to get out there and do it. Okay, absolutely, for sure. New group 24-day challenge. It's not just about all business appointments. We do have to keep getting people on products. Set a goal that this week you're going to start another 24-day challenge, group 24-day challenge. Everybody sees it at the same time, starts at the same time, finishes at the same time. Okay, because if you do that, you know the seeds are going to pop. Invite some customers that already love our products to bring somebody. Some of those are just ideas for you. Our time is up. We're going to stop. If you have anything you want to text,
281-844-4591. Grab my camera.
Okay, and you guys, it's great to meet with you. We're having so much fun thinking of topics that we know will help you. We are excited about those of you that are doing something with what we're sharing with you. And if you have anything you want to text, just go ahead and do it. God bless you. Thank you for joining us for Team Time.
Okay, well, let's get started with this one. We have, here's the question right here. Can you expand on some word choices for promoting events?
Yeah, I mean, let me talk to you a little bit about when you're promoting an event. First and foremost, always think of thank you, Alicia, by the way. Thank you. Always think about who it is you're talking to, okay? Because people are going to come for what's in it for them. Okay, so before I give you exact things that I might know work, I want you to think about some people will come to an event just because they want to have fun. I mean, ladies, sometimes we get people to events just to say, come with me, we're going to have fun, I'll pick you up, okay? And there are people out there like that. They want to be a part, okay? So you can do that. You've got people who have been having skepticism. They are someone who needs to see it with their own eyes. That's how you promote it. You're going to be able to see it with your own eyes and get your questions answered, okay? So that's one way to promote. Somebody might want to make a lot of money. And so you're going to say, you got to come and hear what's happening for people. And here's where it's most important. You've got to promote the stories. Promote the stories that are going to be in the room. Okay, so you all live on the West Coast. You might know some of the key leaders that are going to be in the room. That's what you're going to promote. Here in Houston, we're having a meeting tomorrow night, and you're going to be able to say, if you're trying to get someone in the room, hey, you've been loving these products, but I want you to see how you might be able to make money with this company. As a matter of fact, my friends so-and-so, and you start talking about Piero, who's earning $15,000, $17,000 a month, or Mark, who just hit the diamond level and is earning over $20,000 a month, or you talk about Heather and John, or you talk about Kirk Taylor, or you talk about, and you just say the names. You have to use our names in Houston. Andy and Karen Edwards, they're our friends. They're earning over $100,000 a month with this company. Come find out how that could be you. So it's about stories. So the easiest way to promote is to keep it simple and tell a few stories about what they're going to see. But don't minimize it. Y'all, it is important. We used to drive 3-4 hours just to go to meetings in Austin and Dallas because we heard about the stories and we wanted to be in the room. When we were new, that's what we went for. And it locked us in because we saw the people and we saw the stories. We didn't care as much about the facts of AdvoCare. We saw that the first day on the kitchen table presentation. So it's best, you do have those people you have to say, hey, you're going to get your questions answered, because they might not care about the stories. You have to be discerning on that by what they've already told you. But for most people, it's about the stories. You've got to promote the socks off them. You've got to be able to tell people what's happening for others. Match the story to who you're talking to, though. Okay? So if you're talking to a businessman, you're not going to be promoting your friend who's a stay-at-home mommy, unless that businessman has a wife who's working also because they're covered in debt because of all the money they're spending. So again, you got to know the person, then just match the story and promote it. Promote it that way.
Yeah.
Cool.
Don't know.
Okay. Let's see, is that tonight? Yeah, it's somebody's asking about vegan and no caffeine. What are the best products to help somebody lose weight? You know what? Why don't we do that? Let me look at it real quick, and I'll just... for vegans and caffeine and those kind of questions, let's go ahead and talk about those one-on-one. And Titus, I know you already asked me this, but we had a lot of things going on. The best products to help someone lose weight are still the core products. With vegan, you want to just look it up on the FAQs. We are going to be able to be a resource for you, but if I have anybody with specific things like that, I'm going to the FAQs personally so that I can learn what to do. So I want you to check that out with the FAQs. And as far as no caffeine, just get them started on almost all the core products. Ask questions about why they can't have caffeine, or do a 3-way phone call with us. But most people, I just ask them, tell me a little bit about why you can't use caffeine. And if it's for most reasons, I still recommend Spark. And I still recommend M&S Max 3, okay? The only people that we don't put on any of the products with any caffeine at all is that they tell us there's a medical reason they can't be on it. Otherwise, I'm saying I think we should go ahead and try it, and here's why. And most people that can't use caffeine feel great on Spark. Otherwise, just put them on B16, okay? But otherwise, they can use all the other products.
Yeah, and just know that a lot of times when people tell you that they can't have caffeine, it's because of something they've read about somebody else's product. A product may be loaded with caffeine, and they just want to stay away from that. And once we explain to them that our product's not like that, our product's different than anything else out there, then it may be a little bit different conversation.
Ask enough questions, meet them where they're at, but they can do the cleanse, they can use Rehydrate or V16, they can use the Omegas, the Next Step, Max 3, shakes, all of it. Okay?
Here's the next question. Can you emphasize telephone calls over texting, emails, and Facebook invites?
Absolutely.
Yes. Here's the thing. People will respond to your voice. They'll respond to a phone call. You can really clear up a lot of things in just a short amount of time. Sometimes if you're texting or email, that personal touch is gone. You can't really emphasize certain things like you may want to. And face it, people get tons of evites, and they,
Right.
they're just kind of bombarded with technology, with emails and things like that, and text. And so, it's a very specific phone call. If it's somebody that you really want to get to a 2-on-1 appointment set, if it's somebody that you want to get to an event, it's going to be a phone call. It's going to be a phone call, and it's going to be just talking heart to heart and saying, look, I know that your family could use some extra income, or I know you and I have been on these diets. We've been losing weight up and down for 10 years or whatever. I found it.
Yeah.
You've got to come with me and see this, and you're not gonna be able to convey that over a text message.
Yeah, a couple things too I want you to think about. This is very, very important for y'all, okay? It's just critical for you. When you blast out Facebook or texts or emails, there's a couple things going on. One is this: that's an announcement. That is not promoting, that is not getting face-to-face and letting someone know what's in it for them. It's just an announcement. Okay, so it's going to be received just that way. That's minimal, that's not something that's compelling, it's just an announcement. Number two, think of yourself on the receiving end of that. If you receive something that's blasted out to a lot of people, is that personal? Was that about you and your life? No, you see it just for what it is. It's just a blasted email. And so you have to remember, Advocare is a belly-to-belly, face-to-face business. And if you're looking to really impact somebody's life and let them know you have something that's important for them, you have something that you believe can help them, you've got to pick up that phone and you've got to make those calls. And the thing is, it's okay if that feels difficult at first. For some people, it's painful. For some people, it is very uncomfortable. We used to hear the expression, that phone feels like it's 10 pounds. But your leader's right there to help you, to pick up and give you some words, to teach you what to say. But that's the way our business is built, okay? So if you are still, and this is something that you have to just basically face, is that typically if you're blasting that stuff out, you're hiding behind it. You're afraid. And that's okay. We started our very first Ustream weeks ago with fear because we understand the reality of that. But you be brave enough in this business to do some things that are uncomfortable for you, and you will see the results of it, and it's going to be astounding for you. Okay?
Yeah, and people will appreciate that. People will definitely appreciate a phone call. Okay, can you say one or two quick reasons why getting to Advisor is so important, and even though you don't think you can afford it, how you can afford it and why it is important?
Yeah, absolutely. Here's the thing about Advisor, y'all. When I sit down with somebody and they say they need income and they choose Advocare as their way, they say, okay, this makes sense to me, I want this, and we begin the process. If they are not at the advisor level, they are simply a wholesale customer. And we don't want to pretend anything differently for them. Advisor is the business level. Advisor opens up all 5 streams of income. Advisor is what maximizes profit, but advisor is also the commitment to the fact that this is your business, okay? And so it's very uncomfortable for some people when they're new to say to somebody, this is your first step. But if you don't do that, then you're not doing them justice, because they're not in business yet, okay? So when somebody does not have the money to get to Advisor, you have to tell some stories. I mean, there are stories all over this country of people who had no money. It's funny because Jana Brown just texted us about the Facebook and email, and Jana was a perfect example. When we sat down at the business appointment to present Advocare with Charity Ellis, and Charity knew Jana could use this business to help her, and Jana saw it, and Jana knew, this is my answer. She did not even have $79 to enroll. She only had $70, and she had to wait until Friday for the money. But here's what Jana did. She heard me. I said to her, Advisor is our first step. And she said, I don't even have the money for the distributor kit. Now, I did not force her to do anything. I did not push her to do anything, but I let her know why Advisor was the first step, why it was in her best interest, why it was a must, why we needed to do it. And that girl sat in front of me and called different people to see if she could borrow the $2,100. She did not question me because she knew she wanted to move forward in life. Okay? Now, the people said no. Jana was willing though. Jana didn't have a credit card. If someone has a credit card and they're saying, I need money and I don't have any money, they, in my opinion, need to put the advisor order on a credit card and then get to work. Okay, they just need to get to work. They need to get some people and let you help them sell the product. Your job as a mentor, your job as a sponsor is to be there for them if they do have people to put in front of you. And you all know you're willing to do that. So just be also willing to say, this is the step, it's important. And the only thing you can't do for somebody is get the people for them. You know, Jana was willing after that to go to work. And is there any other part of that question?
No, that was it. The thing that I'd want to add, though, is this. It is hard. It's hard to say sometimes to get that $2,100 out of your mouth. It's hard to say this business is going to cost you $2,100. You can't wait to get to the second part, which is you're going to get $3,000 worth of products. And here's what I want you to know. Most people, not everybody, but most people already, because of their experience, because they've either been in a business before or they've thought about starting a business before, they've looked into certain things. Some people already know basically how much it costs and what it costs to get going in different businesses. What Abacare has done is it's unbelievable. Do not be afraid to tell somebody that for $2,100 you get $3,000 worth of products. You sell 2/3 of that order and your investment's back in your pocket. And after that, everything is a profit. You're eligible for the 5 streams of income. I mean, there's so many things that come after that, but I can tell you, I struggled with it myself. I mean, it was hard for me to tell somebody it's going to be $2,100 out of your pocket, and couldn't wait to get to the part where they were going to get the $3,000. And there's other great things as well as our, for the fact that our products are guaranteed, all those other things. But just understand that most people, I mean, in this day, most people, they've got a very clear understanding of it's going to cost, for this kind of benefit, for what Abacare has to offer, it's going to cost something. Now, the great thing is, within a couple of days for some people, within a couple of weeks for some people, on average, it's a month, month and a half, your money's back in your pocket. And so, all across this country, there's great examples of people that have done that. But I just want you to understand that most people out there, most people have been in businesses or they've thought about getting into businesses that the cost was far, far more than $2,100. And so just know that. I mean, this is a pretty worldly group that you're talking about. And here's another thing. If you're talking to somebody that has success, that they're a successful person, that they've done well, they're really going to understand it. For them, it's going to make total sense to them. What won't make sense to people is if you try to figure out how to work in the 3-week or the 3 pay periods and try to get around that $2,100 that way. That's not going to make sense to them. If they're a strong business person, this will make perfect sense to them, and just understand that.
I'm going to give you a couple more things. On your Advocare website, under your Advocare website, not advocaretraining.com, but your Advocare website, if you go to the training room, there's a video on the benefits of advisor. And if you watch that video, you begin to be able to share the benefits of advisor with people. And it gives you great wording, and so you might want to watch that. It's a short video and it's powerful. Matt Warren did it. Number 2, if somebody has no credit card, has no ability to borrow the $2,100 from somebody, and is not really just, they just have not gotten to advisor. You can't do anything for them. You want to just leave them, love them where they're at, and just try to continue to have them get to meetings until they really decide to get into action. Because we've seen people who don't have the ability to place the order who still get to advisor. That's a decision of action. okay? They have to stretch themselves. They have to get people to get in front of AdvoCare, and that's their job. So if you can at least let them know, this is our first step. If you're not able to do the 2100, who can we talk to? And again, the next step, who else can we talk to? Who else can we talk to? And they're just going to have to get to advisor that way, which is no problem, but you can't make them get into action. You can just
match them step for step.
We match them step for step. We force the activity a little bit by saying, who do you know? But then it's their job after that.
Okay, one last part of this question. One thing to do, at least one thing to do a day for our AdvoCare business, and we're not talking about organizing clauses, but one thing a day that we can do to move us forward in our business.
Pick up the phone and call somebody and ask for an appointment. Tell them your story. Follow the success system when you do it, but who else can you talk to? One thing a day to do with AdvoCare. If that's all you're doing a day, it's who else can you talk to? Who else can you tell about AdvoCare? Pick up the phone or get in front of somebody, share your story, point to a magazine, sample Spark. It's got to be activity that gets somebody exposed to the AdvoCare company, the business, the products, etc. So it's just about who's next.
And we've got time for a couple more questions, but I want to add to this that guys, we got successful in 20 days. I mean, that's the promotion. If somebody is looking at AdvoCare for the business, I mean, you just got to tell them the timing for you couldn't be better. In 20 days, in 15 days, we're having a national success school in Dallas, Texas. It's going to be at Cowboy Stadium. After the appointment, when is the appropriate time to follow up, and how often do you follow up? Let me tell you, when you do an appointment, the follow-up, you should communicate that with the person and agree on a time for you to follow up. Hey, when's the best time for me to follow up with you tomorrow? Give me a couple of good times, and get that from that person.
Yeah, and also on follow-up, whenever you do an appointment, at the end of it, and you think about this, it's right here, okay? What part of this were you interested in? Which part would you like to get started with? So typically you're trying to, after you've done that appointment, help somebody move into some decision, okay? Even if they say, you know what, I don't know if I'm interested in the business, get them on product. If they are interested in the business, get them started. So typically after an appointment, you're trying to do something. And if not, if they say, let me think about it, then you're just going to say, what would be best for you? You just ask them, what would be best for you? Would you like me to do a follow-up call in a couple of days, or will you call me? So you just have to confirm something, okay? And every situation's a little different. What you don't want to do is just sit around hoping that they're going to call. Be confident enough to follow up and just say, it was great meeting with you. Have you thought more about it? Are you ready to get started? Are you ready to get started? Yeah. And it is 9:33. We want to always end on time. If you haven't gotten your question answered, we will look forward to starting, answering it next week.
One more for Carla Duke. It's a great question. Where do we get these? AdvoCare.
Yeah, just go online. And you're going to go to your shopping cart, and it's under your tools. And they're just called the new presentation book, and they're $2 each. Great question. And yeah. I hope you all get some of these. They're fantastic.
They are.
God bless you guys.
Hey, thank you guys. We love y'all. Good night.
Good night.